Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, the podcast where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. The Nashville Predators season is over. There's still data from the season. Sure. There's still data. There's the season still going on. The Predators just aren't part of it. Harken back to this a little bit, but when I was doing my playoff predictions earlier in the year, or when we were talking about the playoffs, I said, it kind of seemed like the same team. So back the first time that I started tracking the potential of teams going to the playoffs was back December 1st. And back December 1st, the top of the Atlantic had Tampa Bay, Montreal, and Ottawa. Tampa Bay, Montreal, and Ottawa. And the Atlantic has Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and Montreal. Ottawa still in it as a wild card team, but Buffalo was Buffalo was the 16th team, going to be the 16th team, the first team out in the East, and of course they're on top of the Atlantic. So, and then as far as the Metropolitan goes, we had Carolina, the Devils, and the Flyers. The Devils have fallen out, and Pittsburgh is now in the spot that the Devils had. Pittsburgh was a wild card team. Of course, they're not anymore. They're the second divisional spot. And then I had the Caps and Pittsburgh as the wild card teams, and of course the Caps didn't make it. Boston. So the Ottawa had been a divisional team, now a wild card team. One of the wild card teams went to a divisional spot. Team that was not in the playoffs at all came up into it, and so not a lot of change in the East. Of course, in the Central, we got Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota, which is how it is. In the Pacific, Anaheim, LA, and Vegas. So what a change that is. Vegas is now on top. LA as a wild card team. Anaheim, the third team. And then Winnipeg was the first wild card team, and Chicago. So not even Utah. So Utah was the first team out in the West. And back then, Chicago, who is next to last in the Western Conference, I had projected as the second wild card spot. So something happened from the December to moving in the future, because even the next data point that I've got, no, that's still the same. I just did a different analysis. But then actually, I did it three different ways. So that was divisional percentage, last 10 and divisional percentage, then weighting by home and away, which is how I wound up moving forward. The East is the same, the West, Anaheim, Vegas, and LA, a little different order, but I had Seattle and Edmonton and wild card spots, so ordering things, taking a look, weighting the home and away more than the divisional stuff. Then I moved on to do a weighting by home and away plus the last 10. And still, I guess I did for December 1st, I did it 4 different ways. And so December 1st, Buffalo was the first team out. Come January 1st, Buffalo was in the wild card 1 spot. And then by then I was waiting home and away, and then also waiting their last 10 to do the analysis. So, So come January 1st, so looking at January 1st, Detroit, Tampa Bay, Montreal. Of course, Detroit didn't make it. Tampa Bay, Montreal did. And then Buffalo being a wild card team. Then Carolina, Philadelphia, and the Islanders. And, of course, the Islanders fell out, and Philadelphia fell into third. But anyway, so, actually the Pacific, Vegas, Edmonton, Anaheim. Vegas, Edmonton, Anaheim, which is exactly the way it wound up, and then I had LA as the second wild card team, but I had the Sharks in the first wild card spot. Utah was the fourth team out. Seattle, Nashville, Calgary, and then Utah. And of course, Utah eventually moved up. Yeah, by the next data point, Utah had moved up into a wild card spot. Near the beginning of February. So, yeah, kind of interesting. Anyway, so I know the Preds aren't in it, but I thought I would take my analysis and all of the home and away stuff that I had and kind of walk through the different matchups and we'll go from there. So let's probably don't want to do that. I want to do those are predictions. So let's see, how far are we in? 6 minutes. Okay. Let's take a quick break. Maybe I'll have a quantum energy bar. Caffeine and caffeine protein, 100 milligrams of caffeine, 10 grams of protein. The dark chocolate Himalayan salt was the choice the other day. Pretty good. And the Preds Pro gets you 25% off, free shipping at $35. You can get the Variety 12-pack, which is what I like because you get 2 of all the 6 different flavors. And the Variety 12-pack is $27. Where are you at? Where's the price? There we go. $27.95, basically $28, but Preds Pro gets you 25% off. They have 2 other types of 12 packs. They have the chocolate fix and the sweet and salty, but I like to get the Variety 12 pack. And then CozyEarth.com, Preds Pro gets you 21% off. They're having a lot of Mother's Day sales and a lot of really soft, comfy stuff there. So anyway, Preds Pro, same promo code, 2 different places, CozyEarth.com, QuantumSquares.com. Okay, so let's get to it. And okay, that's not where I want to go. Let's do this. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we'll start in the East because that's how they show it to us. And I start with the Metropolitan and the team that won the Eastern Conference, Carolina. So Carolina and Ottawa, Ottawa being the second wildcard team. So the series was 2-1 with Carolina winning the first 2 games, the first being in Ottawa, the second being in Carolina, 4-1, 4-3. And then in April, Ottawa won 3-6. As far as I can tell, they do look fairly evenly matched in Ottawa. So when they're playing at Ottawa, I thought they looked like it would be fairly even. When they're playing at Carolina, Carolina's going to have the advantage as far as scoring goes. And then looking at special teams, Carolina does have the power play advantage at home. Ottawa, I should find a different way to do this. This is going to work. Ottawa. What did I have? Okay, so Carolina has the power play advantage at home. They're third in the league at home, and Ottawa is 31st on the penalty kill. So in Carolina, so in Raleigh, there we go. Raleigh, Carolina is going to have the power play advantage, and Ottawa is first in the league in getting power plays on the road. They're also, what was this? First in penalty kill goals against. So they're the teams that's been scored the most against, 31st in the league as far as their penalty kill, and Carolina, and this is Ottawa being on the road, and Carolina being third best. So power plays in Raleigh are really going to favor Carolina. They look pretty even. They look like a pretty fair match in Ottawa. Like I said, in Ottawa, I think the teams are going to play fairly evenly. Carolina is going to have the advantage at home. I don't think Carolina is going to lose in Carolina, and I think they're going to take one in Ottawa. And for me, that looked like Carolina in 6. This is not working for me. And then moving on, we'll try to find a way to get this to screen to make sense. And then moving on, sticking with the Metropolitan, we got Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. The series for Pittsburgh, 2-0-2. So Pittsburgh won 2. One game in Philadelphia, one in Pittsburgh, and the 2 wins by Philadelphia were both shootout wins. The first game was 2-3 shootout, and the second game a 3-4 shootout. As far as how they look at with scoring, it kind of looks like Pittsburgh has, kind of similar to the last matchup. In Pittsburgh, the teams are going to be fairly evenly matched. But in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh's going to have the advantage, is what it looks like to me. And then for the special teams, Pittsburgh will have the advantage at home, but the power play advantage at home, but the penalty kill advantage on the road. So it looks like things kind of tilt towards Pittsburgh. And so I was thinking again that I think that the games will wind up being split in Pittsburgh, but that Pittsburgh will be able to win in Philadelphia. And so again, a 6 seems to be my favorite number. And I'm not very good at this, but I'm going to do it anyway. But Pittsburgh in 6 is kind of the way I'm looking at this particular matchup. The next matchup, this is definitely not working. Let's try to get the screen a different way here. If I split it, can I get it? Can I see what I want to see? It's not the best. And oh shoot, that's awful. What am I doing here? Right. And so just talked about Pittsburgh. And so now we've got Buffalo and Buffalo. Okay, here we go. Buffalo and Boston. Boston actually has the advantage in that series. The series for Buffalo 1-1 and 2. So Boston won in Boston, 3-1. Also won in overtime in Boston, 4-3. Buffalo's one win was in Buffalo, 4-1, and then the last game was in Buffalo, and Boston won 4-3. Boston, their scoring doesn't look so good on the road, decent at home. And as far as special teams goes, it does look like Buffalo is going to have the advantage at home. I think the teams are fairly well matched, even though Buffalo has really kind of come on lately. I'm just going to guess Buffalo in 7. But yeah, they do look fairly evenly matched, surprisingly, even though it's like, Boston being the wild card 1 team. Boston, not the best road team, 16-16-9 over the season would be the one downside. So the fact that they're going to be playing most of their games on the road, I think is really going to kind of tilt things in Buffalo's favor. But again, I really think that looks like it ought to be fairly even. So moving on to Tampa Bay, Montreal, those were split 2-2. Tampa Bay won in Montreal 6-1, then in Tampa Bay in a shootout 5-4. Then the last 2 games went to, that looks like it ought to be, I must have gotten the scores wrong. Tampa Bay, Montreal, because it looks like it's 2-2, but the way I wrote the scores down looks wrong. All right, there we go. So Montreal 6-1 win for Tampa Bay in Montreal, and then a 5-4 shootout win for Tampa Bay at home, and then the next game in Tampa Bay, a 1-4 loss, and then I just wrote it down wrong. So then Montreal won the last two games. Montreal won the last two games, and Tampa Bay got the first two games. They look fairly even from the standpoint of their road and home records. Both of them appear to be very good road teams. Tampa Bay is a slightly better home team. Montreal will have the power play advantage when they're on the road, but then Tampa Bay, when they're on the road, has a penalty kill advantage. So whatever you want to take away from that, whether you'd rather have they got the Tampa Bay has the top. What is this? Scoring. Yeah. When they're on the road, they're one of the top scoring team. They are the top scoring team overall, and in the first and third periods. So they look pretty evenly matched. I'm kind of looking at the rate at which Tampa Bay takes penalties at home. They're fourth in the league in taking penalties, and then ninth in the league in getting them, but Montreal's fifth in the league in being on the power play. Montreal's power play on the road is second in the league. Tampa Bay's power play or penalty kill on the road is third. I got the feeling that Tampa Bay is just going to take too many penalties at home, and I'm actually leaning towards Montreal in 6 on this one. And then so that will wrap up the Eastern Conference. Take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk about the Western Conference. Right, so we start off the Western Conference with the Colorado Avalanche playing the LA Kings. The Kings have been a terrible home team, which is a good thing that they're going to be spending most of their time on the road. Colorado did sweep the series, winning 2 games in LA. The first and last ones were in LA, 4-1 and 4-2. They won in the middle of that in Colorado, 5-2. As far as scoring goes, LA is not a good home team. Colorado is really good on the road. Colorado gets pretty good power plays at home, and LA is not a good penalty kill when they're on the road. I just don't know what the Kings are supposed to do in this matchup, but I got a feeling the Kings are going to take one in Colorado. They're not going to be able to win in LA, but I think they're going to win one in Colorado. And I take Colorado in 5 on this one. For the Dallas, Minnesota, another one that's kind of split. Dallas's record 2-1-1. Dallas won in Dallas 5-2, then lost at Minnesota 2-5. The home team won all of these games, by the way. Then Dallas lost at Minnesota in overtime 1-2, and then Dallas won in Dallas 5-4. As far as scoring goes, Dallas and Minnesota, their scoring is kind of proportional to each other with regards to how many goals they score, how many they get scored against. And so one of the things I was looking at was, how, both away and on the at home, how do they match up with regards to scoring goals and being scored on? And these teams kind of really match up. Dallas is better on the road, but like I said, the home team won all of the matchups between these two teams during the season. As far as special teams go in Dallas, they seem evenly matched. Dallas on the power play, they're the top power play team at home. I feel like I just said that. No, that was Colorado's the best power play team on the road. Dallas has the best power play at home. And Minnesota's penalty kill is third. So, again, fairly evenly matched. Minnesota's power play is fifth. At Stars penalty kill 17th. But when you get on the road, Dallas has got the third best power play and Minnesota's penalty kills 24th. So it really looks like Dallas is going to have the advantage on special teams when they're on the road. Dallas gets more penalties, but that kind of switches around when it comes to Minnesota. I expect this one, even though all the home teams won in the series, I expect the road teams to win. And for that reason alone, if it does go 7, Minnesota is going to win. I think Minnesota will take it if it goes to 7, but I think otherwise, if Dallas will win it in 6. If Dallas doesn't win it in 6, Minnesota will win it in 7. So that's kind of where I landed on that one. Taking a look at the Vegas-Utah matchup, which is another one that seemed really evenly matched. I kind of was really expecting Utah to be a little bit better. They did have the advantage in the regular season, winning 2 of the 3 games. Vegas won in Utah 4-1, and then Utah won at home 5-1, and then also in Vegas 4-0. And the March 19th game would be the latest one. Scoring slight, Utah looked like would have a slight advantage on the road. And then from a special team standpoint, Vegas's power play would have the advantage when they were on the road. So again, really, really evenly matched. I didn't see anything to me that made it look like that it was going to do anything but go 7. And I have to give the nod to Utah. I think Utah is just a better team. I was taking a look to see if the teams had people that were out, and this was just one of those kind of toss-ups. But I think Utah in 7. Moving on to the Edmonton-Anaheim power matchup. Edmonton took 2 of the 3 games. They won 7-4 in Edmonton, and then also in Edmonton 4-2. Between them, they played at Anaheim, where Anaheim won. So the home team has won all of those. Although Anaheim really hasn't been looking very good of late. It's kind of hard to really see that Anaheim's going to have a lot of momentum coming into this. And as far as they can look at how they go with scoring, Edmonton has the advantage in Edmonton. I didn't, let's see, as far as the scoring goes, kind of looks close. I think Edmonton's got a little bit of an advantage on the road too. Anaheim has given up more goals than they've scored at home, and I think that's true. That's true at on the road too. Teams last year, teams that gave up more goals than they scored did not advance past the first round. So I just don't think that what I got up here, Anaheim, not much going for it these days. Edmonton's power play advantage will have the advantage in both locations. Anaheim takes way too many penalties on the road, which I think is just going to feed into Edmonton's wheelhouse. And if it could be a sweep for Edmonton. I tossed one to Anaheim. I don't know where it's going to come, but anyway. So I've got Edmonton in 5, but that easily could be Edmonton in 4. So, and there you just like that. So I did just see an article where somebody and I guess I got a bunch of different people predicting. I don't know who would I believe here. We'll just go with, it's probably alphabetical. They got Carolina, Pittsburgh, Boston, and Tampa Bay. And unfortunately, I didn't have mine listed out quite so easily. But yeah, I've got Carolina, Pittsburgh. They take in Boston. Boston, they are well matched. I got Buffalo. The next guy down takes Buffalo. And then Montreal in 6. Nobody's is anybody in their list going with me? Montreal. Anybody going to take Montreal of Tampa? Nobody's taking Montreal over Tampa Bay. Well, there you go. I'll be lucky if I come out with that one. Over in the Western Conference, Colorado. I don't think anybody's going to take LA. There's a lot of question about whether Dallas and Minnesota. Their picks here. They've got Dallas. And then the next guy has Minnesota, so they're kind of straddling the fence there. I'm taking Utah, and one's got Utah, one's got Vegas. So I guess I'm not in the dark there. And then Edmonton, one guy did pick Anaheim. I have a hard time with that. I would have a hard time taking Anaheim over Edmonton. And those of you that listen up, maybe I might be in trouble with the NHL for this, but I do think they still put the thumb on the scale for Edmonton. They didn't do it quite as much last year. 2 years ago, it was really obvious that they really were pushing, trying to help. Connor McDavid raised the Stanley Cup, and they were unsuccessful. But the first time they did give him the Conn Smythe Trophy, which was the first time a non-goaltender for the losing team won the Conn Smythe Trophy. They just can't help themselves. So, anyway, there you go. That's what I've got, and we will see how that goes. I ran through this pretty quick, but I thought it would take longer, so that's why I was trying to be brief. Anyhow, we'll see how these predictions turned out. Last year, I didn't make too many predictions, and the year before that, I don't think I got too many right. I'm really good at this. Anyway, so there you have it. There's your preview. Games start this Saturday, not for all of the series, though. Dallas, Minnesota does start on Saturday. Colorado starts on Sunday. And I think there are only 3 games. On Saturday, but still wanted to get this out. Yeah, Ottawa, Carolina, Minnesota, Dallas, and then Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Sunday has the rest 4 of them. Yeah, I think the Edmonton series just doesn't even start till Monday. But Colorado, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, and Vegas all start on Sunday. So three games on Saturday, 4 on Sunday, and then 4 on Monday. But game 1 for the Edmonton-Anaheim series will be Monday at 9 o'clock. Yeehaw. These are staggered. Ottawa, Carolina at 2 o'clock, Minnesota, Dallas at 4:30, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh at 7. Those times all central, assuming that they're showing me central times. Anyway, there you go. Hope that's meaningful. Anyway, so we'll see how this turns out. I've never done it this way before. I thought, well, since I had these spreadsheets that broke things out by road and home, I could leverage that to see how my predictions turn out. And there you go. So that's my round 1 predictions. Thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.